Well, good afternoon again. Hopefully the camera's in a position so the cats don't knock it over again and we don't get disturbed. Today's been a bit of a mixed one. I have got some washing dried, although I was about to do this little video outside, and then all of a sudden big black cloud came over and we had a torrential downpour. It's now cleared up. I think that's just going to be the course of today in preparation for some nice weather later on in the week. So I've come in here, I'm looking after these cats for my daughter, and I'm just going to give them a bit of company while I can. So looking at this one, this is an interesting attribute of God, sane or sane, I don't know how it's pronounced, but it's the God who hates. Oh, you'd be taken aback by that, but you're thinking, well, you know, are you sure you're talking about this God that I've been talking about for the past 90 odd days? Wasn't that the God of love you were saying? You're contradicting yourself. Well, yes I am, so let me explain. In fact, let me read Psalm 5:5 to you. It says, "The arrogant cannot stand in your presence. You hate all who do wrong." So as you can see, okay, this is when we can actually think a little bit more deeply about this attribute of God. You see, when things go wrong in the world, perhaps if you're misfortunate enough to have been subjected to, say, racism, or I'm not saying that you know anything about sex slavery, but it goes on. There's rape, there's molestation, there's diseases like AIDS and things like that. And if we say that God is love, and he doesn't look at these things in a different way, then really are we saying that it's okay? Does God think or approve of these things? No, I'm not saying that. You see, because God hates that sort of thing. Like he hates idolatry, like he hates pride and lying and evil plots and schemes and those who bear false witness and troublemakers. See, God's hate stems from his goodness. And just because he's intrinsically a God of love, he also hates the unjust things, the things which aren't of love. He also loathes anything that could harm us, like sin. He hates death and disease. He hates the destruction and Satan and the division of his people, and the divisions that we sometimes cause ourselves, because he's just God of love. God also hates things which aren't pure, because God is a God of purity. He hates, in fact, everything that would stand in the way of all those things that God stands for. So, does God hate? Of course he does. And it's just because of his goodness, his love and his holiness. But when we get to understand more of God's character, we can understand the way that we describe God's hatred towards those things. And in that respect, we have a deeper and more deeper understanding of who God is and how he loves us. Amen? So I told you it was an interesting one. Catch you tomorrow.